Hey everybody, welcome back to another String Games with Soleil. Today we're going to be tackling a more advanced string game. So remember that there are lots of different string games out there, beginners, simple, complicated. This one's a little trickier, so you may want to start with some of the easier ones and work your way up to some of the more difficult maneuvers. This one is called the Seagull, or it also is known as person carrying canoe. So I'll show it to you here. This is what we're going to be making. So this is the Seagull. See the wings and the legs. It's also person carrying a canoe, like a portage sort of thing on the side. So that's what we'll be tackling today. Grab your string and I'll get the camera switched around. All right, got our string ready to get going on Seagull, or person with canoe carrying canoe. That one's a little trickier to see, so I like to call it Seagull. Gonna start opening A. So this is position 1. String is on our thumbs and our pinkies. Go across, doesn't matter which hand you do for this one. So index goes under the straight string, pull straight back. Okay, my other hand goes across and goes under the straight string, pulls straight back. Got our familiar opening A. So for Seagull, the first, there's a few different tricky maneuvers that takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you've got it, it's a pretty flowy figure. So I'm gonna take my index fingers and I'm gonna put them away from me, over top of all the strings. Think about turning my hands around. My index will come up and think about joining my thumb. And I'm gonna hook the straight string that's in between my thumbs. So my index fingers hook onto that one, and I'm gonna turn my hands back away from me, and I can let go of my thumbs. So I'll do that again. So opening A. Index fingers are gonna go around, come up into the loop with the thumbs to catch that straight one, and turn your hands back away from you, and you can release your thumbs. So we've now got 2 loops on our index fingers. We've got an upper loop that has a straight one across, and then we've got our lower loops that are different strings on the index fingers. So the next move, my thumbs are gonna hook on to the near string on the index finger on the lower loop. So my thumbs are gonna hook and just kind of hook on top and pull down those strings. And I'm gonna turn my hands away from me a little bit because that will help. You'll see now that there's a straight string across the back. It's blue for me. So I'll release my thumbs, do that part again. So when I hook onto this the lower string, the first angled, and I just start pulling it down, it reveals that there's a straight string on the bottom there. So my thumbs are gonna go underneath it, behind, and hook onto that straight one and pull back towards me. So it kind of looks something like that. So that string is back towards us. So our thumbs are not done yet. The thumbs have a lot of work to do. They come up and they're gonna hook on to that straight string that is in between on the upper loop of the index that goes across. So I'm gonna hook on to that string and I'm gonna pull it down, and think about kind of pulling it down and through. You'll see the other string fell off the back of my thumbs, and that's okay. So now if you tilt your hands, it'll be tricky. It's a tricky one depending on how your hands are oriented. So think about your hands facing each other and your thumbs pointing down. And you'll see that there's a kind of a triangle. So there's 2 diagonal strings kind of in the back there. So my thumbs are gonna go over top of the angles and hook on to the back of those strings and pull them forward. So I kind of pull them through that straight string is kind of what I'm thinking. And then the next move, I do like to do one thumb at a time because it's a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna start with my right thumb, and I'm just gonna twist. My thumb is gonna go and catch the back of that straight string and pull it through. So my thumb's gonna go down, and that straight string, that bottom one there, is gonna hook on so that it looks something like that. So if you kind of get mixed up and you're not sure where you're at, because the thumbs do most of the work, you can actually let go of your thumbs and you get back to close to the beginning, one of the first steps we were there. So we'll start from here. So this is our thumbs are gonna hook on to the near lower string on the index finger. So you're gonna hook on, pull down, turn your hands away from you to find that straight string on the back. You're gonna pull that towards you. Now I go for the straight string that's at the top of my index fingers, and I'm gonna hook on and pull that one down through. And now think about my hands facing each other so you can see the two diagonal strings there. So I'm gonna go on top of this diagonal, pull through the triangle, pull it around, and then one at a time, my thumb will go and pick up the straight string, thumb will go and pick up the straight string. It's a little bit tricky, but you'll get the hang of it. And then I just release my index fingers. And voila, we have a seagull. You can see the two wings and the legs hanging down there, flying across the sky. I believe in this orientation is the person portaging a canoe, arms and legs holding the canoe. But I like the seagull the most. So I'll do it once all the way through, a little bit faster, but of course you can rewind and to get the steps. Finding a way to not tangle your string when you release a string trick is always a good step. All right, so we've got opening A. Start like this. Index fingers goes around the back, loops all the way through into the thumb loop to catch that straight string, and turns back away. Release the thumbs. Thumbs are gonna grab the lower near index loop, and they're gonna hook onto that one and pull it down till you see the straight one. Your thumbs can hook along the back of the lower straight one, back towards you. And then your thumbs come up and hook onto the upper straight one that goes across here and kind of pull it through all those loops, like so. And now we tilt our hands, point our hands away from us, but facing each other, so you can see the kind of triangle, diagonal, hook onto those ones, pull back towards us, and then you loop it around again and you pick up the straight one. Loop your thumb around again and you pick up the straight one. And then release all the loops on the index finger. There you have it, the seagull. It's a trickier one, it's an advanced figure for sure, so if it takes some time, that's understandable. Good luck, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks, bye.